Hello, today we're going to discuss angles, topic 8.4 in your Pearson. We're going to start out with today complementary angles. Complementary angles have a sum of 90 degrees. So if I were to draw a 90-degree angle, and I'm going to tell you that it's 90 degrees because I'm going to put this little box in the middle here. If I was to take that angle and split it, using the ray that I just drew here, I would have two angles. I'm going to call this A and this angle B. Angle A plus angle B has to add up to 90 degrees. The little symbols in front of the A and the B represent angle instead of me writing out the word angle every time. Now, if I told you that A was equal to 35 degrees, to find the measure of angle B, I would do 90 minus 35 to get my answer, which is 55 degrees. Therefore, angle B would be 55 degrees. So again, complementary angles, the sum of the two angles is 90 degrees. Now let's look at supplementary angles. Supplementary angles have a sum of 180 degrees. Supplementary angles lie on a straight line. A straight line is 180 degrees. So if I take a straight line and I draw this ray here, you should now see two angles. You should see one acute angle, angle C, and one obtuse angle, angle D. Those two angles have to add up to 180 degrees. So angle C plus angle D has to add up to 180 degrees. So if I were to tell you that angle D is 130 degrees, to find the measure of angle C, I would do 180 minus 130 to get the answer of 50 degrees. Therefore, angle C would equal 50 degrees. Remember, a straight angle is just a straight line. Next, we're going to look at vertical angles. And when you think of vertical angles, think of opposites. If you have a line and you have another line and they intersect, as so, you should see four angles. V, W, X, Y. Just made up some letters here. Okay? The opposite of X is V. Therefore, X is going to have the same measurement as V. The opposite of W is Y. Notice I'm marking them with these little arcs, which means W will have the same measurement as Y. So again, angle V will be congruent. That's the symbol for congruent, which means equal to angle X, and angle W will be congruent or equal to angle Y. So if I were to give you a measurement, I only really have to give you one measurement in the entire picture, and you could figure out all of the others. If I were to tell you that angle X was 40 degrees, then automatically now I would know that angle V is 40 degrees because they're vertical angles, they're opposites of each other. Now, once I know that those two are 40 degrees, I could figure out the other two. Notice that X and Y, or X and W, are on a straight line. Notice that these are on a straight line, X and W. If I add X and W together, it will be 180 degrees. So 180 take away 40 will give me 140 degrees. And if W is 140, then Y is also 140. So again, when you think of vertical angles, think of opposites. And opposite angles are congruent. Next, we're going to look at adjacent angles. And adjacent angles are next to each other. Okay, they share a common ray. For example, if I was to draw something like this, okay, angle X is next to angle Y. These are adjacent to each other. They share a common ray here. Okay, then let me draw something different now. Let me draw a line and let me break it up into 3 angles. Let's go here and let's go here. And I'm going to call this angle A, B, and C. Angle A right here is adjacent to angle B. Angle B is adjacent to angle C. But angle A is not adjacent to angle C. They are not next to each other. So adjacent, again, it just means that they're next to each other. They share a common ray. So angles B and angle C share this ray right here. Angle A and angle B share this ray right here. Now let's look at some more challenging examples. The first example I'm showing you says find the value of X. We're going to find the value of X in this picture. Okay, notice that this is a right angle. We really should be putting a little box in there showing that it is a right angle. And we know that 2 angles that are inside of a right angle have to add up to 90. So therefore, I'm going to add this and this together. I'm going to start by adding what's X plus X. And of course, everybody knows that that is 2X. Then I'm going to add my 2 numbers together. What is 15 plus 5? That's 20. And I know that this has to equal 90. Then I'm going to solve this like I normally solve an equation. I'm going to subtract 20 from both sides and subtract 20. Cross out my 20s. 2x is equal to 70. And then I'm going to divide by 2, and x equals 35. And that's it. It's that easy. I'm going to show you another example, another one that Pearson may throw at you. Let's say we have 2 intersecting lines. And let's say that I tell you that this angle is 120 degrees and that this angle is 2x plus 40. How will I find the value of x? Well, again, I'm going to set up an equation. Cut that in half there, that way you can see the difference. Let's set up an equation. We know that these are vertical angles, so therefore they are equal to each other. So I'm going to say that 2x plus 40 has to equal 120. Then I'm going to solve my equation. I'm going to subtract 40, cross out my 40s. 2x is equal to 80. Then I'm going to divide by 2, and x is equal to 40 degrees. So again, because I knew that this was going to equal this, I just set them equal to each other and I solved the equation. Here's another interesting problem. All words for you. Angles A and B are supplementary. Okay, so again, as soon as I see that angles A and B are supplementary and they don't give me a picture, I like to draw myself a picture. I'm going to draw myself a straight line because I know a straight line means the angles are supplementary, which means they add up to 180 degrees, where I'm going to write 180 degrees there. Okay, it says angle A is 6 times as large as angle B. So we know angle A is bigger than angle B. It's 6 times larger than angle B. So here we go. I'm going to put a B here, and I'm going to put an A over here. I like lowercase a letters. Okay, so A is 6 times as large as B. Since we don't know how big B is, I'm going to call it lowercase b. And A is 6 times larger than B, therefore A would be 6 times B. Now I know if I add these two together, they're going to add up to 180 degrees. So I'm going to do 6B plus B has to equal 180 degrees. Then I'm going to add 6B plus B, which gives me 7B equals 180 degrees. Now, if you remember how to solve our equations, we're going to divide both sides by 7. These are gone. It's not going to come out to a nice number, but we're going to round. I think Pearson hopefully will give you a nice number. I didn't. So I'm going to do 180 divided by 7 on my calculator, and it gives me 25 I'm going to round it to 25.7. So angle B is 25.7. Put the little angle symbol in front of it, degrees. Angle A is going to be 6 times bigger than this. So it's going to be 6 times 25.7, which equals 6 times 25.7 on my calculator, 154.2 degrees. And they should add up to, this one and this one, they should add up to 180. I'm noticing I'm off by 0.1, so really I would have to round one of these up a little bit. For now, though, this is good. So there's the answer to angle A, A is down here, and angle B is up here. This should help you with the Pearson 8.4 problems. Okay. Also, make sure you watch the videos that I put in Khan Academy. Those will help you too. Otherwise, feel free to message your teacher. Thanks and good luck.